يا لغتي عربية حسبي بأنك منطقي وبياني عربية قلبي.
The Torah, exactly. Not the Old Testament.
The Arabic speakers go and check this. It says that the Torah that was between his hands. So, Muhammad had
Where is
it.
the between
Okay,
hands?
the Torah has been in existence for
Where is
hundreds
the
of
baby
years.
killing here?
Hundreds of years.
Where's the baby killing? I still haven't seen it. Are you going to run away? Are you going to run away? So why don't you show me the baby killing? Are you condemning? Do you condemn it or condone? That's changing topic. That's changing the topic. It is. Okay, which Muslim says that is the Torah?
Okay,
Which Muslim says it?
As a Christian,
Yeah.
different point now. As a Christian,
Running away from the topic.
Am I supposed to go and exercise God's judgment in the way that He does in the past, which, by the way, your Quran confirms that God can exercise His judgment directly, like Sodom and Gomorrah agreed, He rains down salt from heaven. By the way, I assume that babies and lives that were there too. Are you going to get cross with
Remember I
Allah?
said directly?
Wait a minute.
I've already answered that
Are you going to get cross with Allah for raining down sulfur on babies then? Oh, but you're just not going to get, you're going to get really incensed by Him using
Look
it for
at
other
you,
ages.
bro. Look at
You're
you,
going to get really incensed.
You know why I'm...
So what you're doing
Let
is
me answer,
you are
okay.
saying, I'm better than God,
No,
I know better
it's
than
not.
God,
It's
I'm
not.
going to tell
Okay.
God what to do,
Okay, Lizzie.
and I think He should
Lizzie,
do it Hashim's way.
we know why they're Sodom and...
Blasphemous.
We know why Sodom and...
Blasphemous
Well,
against
that's your claim,
Allah.
and it's neither here nor
Okay?
there. It's
But the point is, let's talk
the
about
important thing... No,
what's
you had your time, now
today.
it's my time.
Should I, as a
It
Christian,
says here in
be going and
Samuel,
exercising
in
judgment
1 Samuel
the way
chapter
that
15
No.
verse 3, it gives us a reason why they were killed. Do you remember the reason why those babies were killed in 1 Samuel 15?
What did you tell me?
Why? You want me to educate you about your Bible? Yes? Go on, okay. Do you have any faint idea at least as to why they were killed?
Because it was sin, because of the sin that was in the land. Because that's how God exercises judgment. God gets land.
Achie, can I go forward, yeah?
Why does my God not care about sin? Why do you think Allah will put certain people in hell?
Well, yeah, exactly. Well,
If He didn't care, why does He put them in hell?
because they don't believe Him. That's their
Thank you very
crime.
much. So stop
They don't-
lying that Allah doesn't care about sin.
So do you
He
think
does.
disbelief is
You have
sin?
just been trumped there.
Is it sin?
Okay, anyway, I'll give you the reason why your God chose to kill those babies. This is 1 Samuel chapter 15. I'll read it from the beginning because these people think I take it out of context. Samuel said to
The
Saul,
point is,
if you
the
keep
point
quiet,
is,
I'll finish it.
He
If you keep quiet,
doesn't like
Lizzie.
the fact that the Quran affirms.
No,
what
the Quran
God
doesn't
did.
affirm the
Killing babies.
The Quran doesn't affirm the Old Testament.
Actually,
It doesn't. That is a lie, and she knows
Other
that.
nations was holy and
Now, will you stop interrupting and let me finish and read your Bible? Have respect for your Bible at least, if not the Quran. It says in 1 Samuel chapter 15, Samuel said to Saul, I am the one the Lord sent to anoint you king over his people Israel. So listen now to the message from the Lord. This is what the Lord Almighty says. I will punish the Amalekites. This is the reason, by the way, pay attention. I will punish the Amalekites for what they did to Israel when they waylaid them as they came from Egypt.
So
it wasn't...
what's the issue?
Let me
What's the
finish.
issue?
Stop interrupting and let me finish. So the reason is given here. The reason is this. I will punish the Amalekites for what they did to Israel when they waylaid them as they came from Egypt. By the way, to give you some background context, this is like 400 years before when Samuel said to Saul this statement. So 400 years before, during the Exodus, these Amalekites killed a few of the Israelites, and this is vengeance. So this is basically taking revenge, God taking revenge for what these people, the Amalekites, did to the Israelites. Let me read the rest of it. And then he says,
It's all in your Quran.
now go.
That's wonderful. Everything he's
By the
just
way,
said
this is the Bible.
is referred to
She knows
by
that.
Muhammad in the Quran as just
Is it because you're
war.
embarrassed
And
you don't want me to
I can't
finish?
wait to read this
Lizzie,
to you. I can't
Lizzie,
wait
are
to
you
read it
embarrassed
to
or you want me to finish?
No, you are the one that's going to be so mega embarrassed by this.
Oh.
Because something that you're so outraged by
Which
is
was-
actually referred to in here.
No, it doesn't.
Oh my goodness.
Doesn't.
You are so on the road.
Have respect for your Bible, if not me.
Yes.
Now go attack the
I'm gonna show
Amalekites.
what's in your
Oh,
Quran.
there she goes
If
again.
you don't respect this, it means you don't respect your Quran.
Remember, don't
I would
complain.
run away now if I were
Lizzie,
you.
do not complain when I interrupt you then. Because I can play your game as well.
Carry on.
Now go and attack the Amalekites. The next verse. So God gives a reason. The reason they were basically massacred in this next statement is because of the revenge that God wants to take against the people of Israel. So he says here, now go and attack the Amalekites and totally destroy all that belongs to them. Do not spare them. put to death men and women, children and infants. See how they separate the children from the infants? Those who are 2 years and less, the infants. And then it goes on to say the cattle and the sheep and the camels and the donkeys. So do not even spare those domestic animals.
Okay,
all right?
dear.
I haven't finished yet,
Domestic
Lizzie.
animals.
So wait a minute. So basically we see the
Wait against
reason.
the Quran here.
So we see the reason why this Old Testament, by the way, this is not the Torah. And if she tries to say this is the Torah,
246,
she has to prove it where it says the Torah. That the
This
Quran
is
is referring to the
Allah
Old
speaking
Testament.
to Saul, okay? Who Hashim is actually talking to as well. Allah speaks to Saul.
Does it tell Saul to go and kill the
war.
children? No, it
Yes.
doesn't. Okay,
He
go on.
set out with his
Sean.
army.
You okay?
He said, verily Allah will be there.
Which verse is that you're reading?
This is 2249.
Sorry,
2249.
Okay, Surah Al-Baqarah.
Baqarah.
Go on, read it. Show us the killing of children in the Quran, please.
Okay, no, the killing's not there, but...
Oh! Wasn't that the whole topic? That was the whole topic.
But it's
I think
the
it's
same
finished
war.
already.
It's the same war, isn't it? It's the same war.
No, it's not the same.
Saul,
It's not the
okay?
same, sorry. Nice try, but
By
you missed
Allah's
that.
leave. Okay, how often a small group overcame a mighty oak by Allah's leave. So actually, Saul confronting the Amalekites, that's just by Allah's leave, isn't it? It's in this.
Where is the killing of
so
babies?
even though it doesn't say about killing of babies,
Of course
we
not.
know
It
doesn't say.
that Muhammad
Of course
affirmed
not.
the Torah in which you find the killing of babies. So to get so outraged
That's a bad
like this,
argument.
Hashim
I'm sorry
is
to say.
actually undermining his own Quran.
Shall we
And
read
saying
what
that Islam is
249
false.
says? Because she took it out of context. Let's read what Surah Al-Baqarah 249 says. And when Saul went forth with the soldiers, he said, indeed, Allah will be testing you with the river.
Yes, so Allah is sending him, isn't he?
Can I
Allah
finish?
is sending
You
him
didn't read the whole verse.
Why
I'm
on
finishing it
Why
for you.
would they be going? Allah is sending them. Allah is
Calm
sending
down.
them all out.
Calm down.
Let me finish the verse.
So whoever drinks from it is not of me. And whoever does not taste it is indeed of me. So basically the condition was not to drink from that river. And then he says, excepting one who takes from it in the hollow of this hand. But they drank from it, except a very few of them. Then when he had crossed it, along with those who believed with him, they said, there is no power for us today against Goliath and his soldiers. So this is about David and Goliath, basically. Nothing to do with killing babies here. Okay, but those
It's the same soul, isn't
but
it?
those
And
who were
also-
certain that they would meet Allah, yes, those who were certain that they would meet Allah said, how many a small company
Same king.
has overcome a
Still
large
sending people out
company
to war.
by permission
Just
of
different
Allah,
details.
and Allah is
Okay?
with the
Just
patient.
different
That's all it
details.
says. There's no
Okay.
mention of
Now,
any
let's
killing
think-
of children.
Let's think about this.
Thank you very
Let's-
much.
You look up Bukhari volume 4, book.
Are you going to show us the killing of children?
Oh,
you're going off topic?
Should go to different
Are you
verse.
going to change the topic?
Going on a
Lizzie?
very military
Are you going to change the topic?
where we can see that Allah affirms these Old Testament.
Show us the killing of children,
Okay.
please. I want to see that.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I'll
You
show
know you can't find
All right,
any, so
fine.
you're grasping at
I'll show
straws
you-
now.
Yes, actually, you're right.
Yes.
I'm going to show you the killing of children.
Please
from
do.
this book.
By the way,
Okay.
killing of children sanctioned by God to human beings. Because I know there's natural
Oh,
calamities like the
1874.
flood and like the
1874.
Sodom and
Yeah.
Muhammad
Okay,
killed 800 Jews.
So 1874. Sorry, so
Muhammad
Hashim
killed
is very,
800
very,
Jews.
very offended
In one
by the
day.
idea of killing
Are you
children.
going to show us the
But
killing
now
of
we're
children?
gonna see the killing of children.
Sanctioned by God to the human beings.
Okay, so here we go. So this is Moses. Okay, Moses. Give me proof. And
Don't divert, don't divert, don't divert.
What Muhammad? Then they both proceeded. Give me proof. And he killed him.
Give me proof.
Moses said, have you killed him? Verily, you have committed a great
the Bible or the
evil
Quran?
Calm down.
against the Quran. I'm afraid. Okay, someone just killed him. They're saying you've done a really terrible
Where does it say? Where does it say he's a child? Is he a child or a boy?
We are not talking about Jews.
Can a boy be
Muhammad.
like 15 years old?
Why you Muhammad prophet?
It's the point.
It is a point.
It's a prophet.
No more prophet.
Yes.
So whether he's 15, whether he's 11, the fact is they just killed him.
Is he a child?
Why Jesus is
He
coming?
said, yes.
Jesus
What is a child according to you?
Don't talk like
What is a child according to you?
Shut
Why are
up.
you trying to
Shut up.
No, because I want to know if that is a child. Because that is the whole
Are you
argument.
telling me
Shut
it's
up.
justified?
Is that a child? Are you going to first you need to establish that that is a child. What is a child according to you? Okay, that's fine. So every boy is a child. Is that right? Is everybody a child? What is it? Define a child. Until what age is a child? I want to know this. It's quite important. Until what age is a child? Let's read that. Which verse is it? Oh, this is about Khidr. Okay. By the way, Khidr, was he given foresight about what the boy is going to do in future? Is it a prophecy?
Is that a reason to kill someone?
I'll answer you if you keep quiet.
Okay.
Okay, here it is. Those people who were told, like the army of Saul, was the army of Saul, did they claim that they had foresight about the future?
Why are you bringing this back to the Bible? Now you need to answer this.
Because I'm answering you based on the Bible.
You tell me, because you're saying you're really upset. You're really upset about children being killed.
Yes, mass massacre of children.
Of a child being killed in the Quran.
What did Muhammad do?
By the way, he's not a child, he's a boy.
He's a boy.
A boy can be 16, can be 17, can even be up to the age of before he reaches 18. That's a boy. It's not splitting hair. It's very clear. Look, there are two reasons. There are two reasons that goes against you. One, Khidr actually was given the foresight of what the boy was going to do when he grows up. Let me finish. I'm explaining now, Lizzie. Let me finish and then you can talk. How about that? Have some civility. Have a dialogue. Because every time you interrupt, we won't get anywhere.
I only have to be civil to him. He doesn't have to be civil to me.
Well, I let you talk. I let you talk. You read that verse, I let you finish the verse. Well, that's fine. She has done a lot of talking. You can look at the camera, the video later. So what I'm saying is that Khidr, unlike the soldiers of Saul, had the foresight that what this boy will do in the future. And his reason for killing him was given in the Quran as to why he was killed. What was the reason given by God for killing the Amalekite children? It was vengeance. It wasn't because in the future he was going to become a bad guy, like for example, like Hitler or someone, and go and kill and do mass massacres. No. The reason that was given in the Bible was vengeance. The reason given in the Quran was he was going to cause...
Let's check the text.
Go on, check the text. Go on.
Okay?
See the reason why he was killed.
18, verse 18. Let's see what the text says.
Yeah, go on.
You're claiming, aren't you, that the reason that this boy was killed is because he was going to turn out bad, right? He was going to be a disbeliever. But what does the text say?
Yeah, go on.
It says, and as for the boy, his parents were believers, and we feared lest he should oppress them by rebellion and disbelief. Was he actually a rebel?
By what? Say the last word again.
He
by what?
Feared, okay? And we feared.
Yeah. What was
lest
feared?
He should oppress them by rebellion and disbelief.
Thank
Did
you.
he actually? Well, he couldn't because he was dead. But was it because he was
rebellion and oppressing the parents?
Or was it because they
given reason?
Feared. No. In there,
the reason is given.
The reason is they feared.
And I will prove it from Jesus' words. Why that is
rebellion and disbelief.
If
God has a reason, who are you to stop God?
Exactly.
Who are you to stop
rebellion
God?
Against the parents.
If God has a reason to kill, who are you to stop God?
You will have your chance.
Doesn't
get in the queue.
Get a ticket. Get a ticket. Who are you to stop God?
Actually, yes.
Don't speak out of turn.
God has a reason
he
to do
boys,
that.
And the reason he gives is in case the parents are afraid.
God has a reason to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah.
They're afraid.
God has a reason for Sodom and Gomorrah. God has a reason.
She's talking. You're old enough. Have respect.
I'm talking to you.
No, you're talking. You're interrupting her. I did not interrupt because I want her to get a point.
Okay, can you show me from the Bible where anyone kills a child because they are frightened? They are
rebellious to the parents.
They are afraid that they might be rebellious.
Yes, I will give it. No problem.
They're afraid.
I'll give it to you from the Bible. No problem.
Okay. But
in fact,
justify the killing of children.
I'm not going to justify killing of children because nowhere in the Bible it says killing children.
Justifies the killing of children
killing a young boy.
Rebellious.
Look, you had your turn. Let me finish now.
Problem
Let me finish
in Islamic countries with honor killings.
Yes.
There's honor killings in the Bible.
There's
no honor killing in the Quran.
And that's a divine law.
Honor killing is not in the Quran.
And Muslim says that that's a divine law.
Is it not true?
Are you going to have a respect? I'll let you finish without interrupting you.
Rebellion.
You know the only guy who was interrupting you is this other Christian here.
Even you.
So I expect you to show me the
you call Muta a divine law.
Alright?
You call Muta a divine law.
God of the Bible kills babies. Actually, God of the Quran.
Leave him. The shaitan remains at the back. Leave them at the back.
Exercising his judgment.
Okay.
The Quran goes
by the way, Lizzie is gone into the preaching mode again. Instead of having a dialogue with me, she's looking at the camera.
Fear that they disrespect.
That's right.
Fear that they rebel.
By the way.
So let's conclude this.
No. Why concluding? You don't conclude that. that easily.
So Quran and Surah 24 verse 33.
Are you going to run away? Oh, Lizzie, that's typical. See, this is what happens.
Verse
This is what happens.
33.
You run away.
Quran.
Lizzie, why running away?
No.
Why running away? You can't handle the camera.
I'm here.
All right. By the way, we haven't finished yet.
Quran in Surah 24 verse
In
33.
chapter,
He wants to debate. You want to debate?
I don't want to do. The thing is, he has no respect for anyone. He doesn't.
Quran.
No, I can see that.
Quran in
If you
Surah
keep quiet,
24
I'll finish this
verse
point.
33.
Wait a minute. I'll finish this point, and then you bring Lizzie back.
You are calling muta a divine law. Prove it. It is a divine law.
By the way, did God make Mary pregnant?
Prove it.
Did
Prove
God
it through Quran.
Did God make Mary pregnant?
Prove it.
Did God make Mary
Prove
pregnant?
it. The muta is the divine law.
Show me muta in the Quran. Show me. Show me the ayah.
Read
No, you bring
Surah
your Quran.
24 verse
Go over there,
33.
over there.
Surah 23.
You bring it and then I'll
You read it. Read it.
I'm going to read it.
You read it.
Okay, I'll read it here.
You read it.
Read here.
Surah
Okay.
24 verse
So basically,
33.
if you keep quiet for 1 minute, I'll read it.
You're going to get whatever you want.
Calm down.
Patient.
Okay, here he says, this is in Matthew 15:3-4, it says, Jesus replied, and why do you break the command of God? For the sake of your tradition. For God said, honor your father and mother, and anyone who curses their father or mother is to be put to death. Earlier, Lizzie said, why should a boy be put to death for being rebellious to the parents?
And disbelief.
You know what? Jesus actually condones that. Jesus condones the Old Testament. By the way, this is a verse in the Old Testament which Jesus condones in the New Testament. In Matthew 15, from verse 3-4. And then this is the Old Testament. The Old Testament, it says, again, the same thing. In Exodus 21:17, it says, anyone who curses their father or mother is to be put to death. So what Khidr did in the Quran, with the foresight that that boy was going to be rebellious to his parents and was going to cause transgression.
No, what translation you are reading?
He was basically killed.
What
And
translation you are reading?
English.
What translation you are reading?
And this is what I'm saying. Jesus actually condones
it's your own translation.
what Khidr did
It's
in
your
the
own
Quran.
translation.
All right, so
Yeah.
I rest my case. No wonder Lizzie ran away because she knew that I was going to bring this up. Jazakallah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Surah 24, verse 33. Read it. Read it.
يا لغتي عربية حسبي بأنك منطقي وبياني عربية قلبي